What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Cat Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where you know I'm going to always be serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Big ups to all of my subscribers. Again, I appreciate each and every one of you. I am almost at my peak of 3,000 subscribers. I'm only like 4 or 5 subscribers away, but I know I will hit that mark very soon. So I definitely want to give a big ups to all of my subscribers. If it was not for each and every one of you, my channel would have not grown as flourishly as it has. My channel has really flourished, and again, I'm very grateful. That lets me know that I'm doing something right, and I'm very, very appreciative of each and every one of you who have been standing by me this to the beginning since I started this journey. And for all of my new subscribers that just jumped on board, again, I thank you and I appreciate you. Welcome you to the family. So with no further ado, I just want to get into this right away because I got more important material I'm going to have to upload, but I just definitely wanted to make a commentary on this particular topic because a couple of people have been doing it. And I didn't really know much about it until, I've been stumbling across a couple of different bloggers who have been speaking on this particular issue with Chris Brown. And basically, a lot of black women, and in particular, mostly dark-skinned women, were basically slamming Chris Brown for his lyrics about black women with good hair. Anytime there's a Chris Brown drama, you can almost guarantee that there's a woman involved. The multifaceted singer whose talents continue to be eclipsed by his larger-than-life ego and inability to stay out of trouble is once again in the middle of more controversy. This go-round is because of a controversial lyric involving good hair and his exclusive desire for black women with exactly that. And while most aren't really surprised, seeing as Brown's track record with women historically includes those who are racially ambiguous with hair on a waiver, silkier side, his audacity to actually express that in a song is nothing short of baffling. But Twitter isn't letting him off the hook, and black women seem to be fed up. The lyric in the song is stated as follows: "Only wanna fuck the bad bitches with the nice hair." Okay. Let me see. So I've been Chris Brown for a fan. Lisa I am. His recent song from his album. Blah 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 blah. Okay, I ain't reading all of that. Basically, a lot of females, mostly dark-skinned women, and I'll just say black women in general, got offended by this, and I don't understand how come so many dark-skinned women got offended by it, because I know dark-skinned women with good hair too, with nice hair. So when I heard this lyric, I didn't see where he was specifically talking. I don't see where he was specifically addressing he wanted a light-skinned woman. Now, if he said light-skinned chick with good hair, that's a very straightforward, direct comment. But I only heard him. The only thing he said was, "Only want to F the black bees with the nice hair." Now, let me tell you, sister, something. Let's sip of my coffee this morning. For so many black women, I don't care if you're dark skinned, I don't care if you're light skinned, but I know in this case it was predominantly dark skinned women who got offended by this comment. First of all, as a full grown woman, as a woman, period, y'all can't really read deep in between the lines. Why would y'all get offended by a man who says, "I only wanna fuck"? The F word alone. Listen, I'm going to read it one more time. "Only wanna F-U-C-K the black B-I-T-C-H's with the nice hair." First of all, why y'all offended that a man only wants to have sexual relations, bang the back out of black bitches with nice hair? And you are offended because he don't want to F you? And evidently, I guess you consider yourself a bitch. You don't mind a man wanting to fuck you as his bitch simply because you got nice hair. This one sentence alone already is degrading. And I cannot understand for the life of me why so many women, oh, I won't even call y'all women, why so many little girls, because that's what you are. For you to be upset that a man does not consider you his type unless you have nice hair, simply because he wants to fuck you as a black bitch. Excuse my French. I don't like this much profanity in my content, but I have to go there because this is what he put in his lyrics. Now, this is my whole point. The problem is, as black women, we are so used to being undesirable because we catch a lot of heat. And believe me, I get it. I hear it every day. I breeze by these panels. I do little panel drive-bys. I listen to how cruel and disrespectful some of these brothers are. You know, I hear it. I just don't entertain it. And I don't comment on it in the chat room because I know it's just going to cause me to get ridiculed and disrespected even more. So I stay in my lane. The problem is, like I stated, we're so used to being undesirable because we're constantly disrespected on the daily basis. We're constantly are measured and penalized for certain things that we can't even help. In some cases, we bring it upon ourselves to where we are disrespected or undesirable by having nasty attitudes, by, challenging these men, in a negative manner, carrying ourselves like 𝐜𝐻𝐚'𝐬, so in some cases we bring it upon ourselves, but in other cases we don't bring it upon ourselves. And we are constantly being penalized for different reasons, whether if it's because of the kind of hair we got, the fact that we wear weave, don't wear natural, so dark till you almost look purple, or you too light to where you almost look pale. It's always something as black women we're going to get ridiculed about. And I've come to realization, and I think most black women, the sooner we accept that, the better off we are. Where the problem is, we're looking to be admired. We're looking for recognition. And the only way you're going to get admiration and recognition, first of all, is going to have to start with self. You're going to have to love yourself, love your dark skin, love your hair, your no hair, whatever flaws and faults you have. You have to embrace those, because if you're looking for men or men of other colors, especially black men, to validate you, you're going to get your feelings hurt, because you have some men that really do love black women, and they have enough spirit of discernment to know that all black women are not the same. So you have some gentlemen out there that knows how to handle each of us different according to how we carry ourselves and according to how we treat them. Then there are others that love to group all black women within one group. So it does not matter how much of a lady you behave as, doesn't matter if you wear your own hair or not, he's going to find a way to disrespect you, or to poke the bear, to find your trigger points to get you to act out of character, so that way he can make you look crazy. Like, see, she the typical black bitch, she crazy, she overly emotional. So you're gonna have some dudes that's gonna try to poke the bear. You know what I mean? So as a black woman, that's where you have to pray for the spirit of discernment, of knowing when to entertain certain things and when not to entertain certain things. Every comment don't need a reaction. As I stated, I've been in several chat rooms, I've been on several panels where I have seen certain brothers bully black women, all because she has a difference in opinion. The first thing they look at is her hair, because the moment you even make a comment, the first thing they're looking at is your hair. Because if you're wearing a weave or you're wearing a wig or something like that, they automatically gonna execute you for it. First of all, shorty, is that even your hair? Why is you saying anything? How you speaking for black women? You the typical black woman. That's not even your hair. So he's already, just realize, as a black woman, you're going to be sized up the moment you enter the room, the moment you open your mouth. You could be polite, you could be respectable, but you're going to be judged immediately, first thing they're going to look at is your hair. They're going to see if it's yours. Secondly, they're going to look at your complexion. If you're dark skinned, they're going to automatically sense that you have a sense of insecurity, that you don't really measure up to what they consider as an attractive black woman. You're automatically going to be sized up. And that's why you have to have discernment when you go on certain panels, when you go on certain channels, because some men do want you on their panel because they do respect your opinion. They do want to hear what a black woman has to say, and they really value our opinions. But you have others, they want you on their panel, or they bring on their channel just so they can make a mockery out of you. And it's a lot of black women that are not understanding that y'all are being used as mascots. When certain brothers invite you to their panel, certain brothers invite you to their channel, they don't have you there for a right reason. They have you there. It's kind of like, to put it this way, simple. It's kind of like you ever been, I don't know if anybody ever heard of a situation where a guy would invite a certain female to a house party. He may tell you, you know, you may not be the most attractive female, but he'll invite you to his house party. Okay. And meanwhile, you're excited to go because you really get guys that invite you to their house party. You really get guys that ask you out because you may not be the most finest chick on the block, but they invite you over anyway. And say it's this guy that you really, really like, and he invites you to his house party. So meanwhile, you getting dressed up. You get your nice outfit. Make sure you get your hair stuff done up because you're so excited that somebody finally is noticing you and giving you attention. And they're inviting you to a party because you don't get that many invites. Because again, you just average black female. You know, you're not really popular or whatever. You're not popping like that. So you get to the party and there's a group of dudes. Okay. And you see all of these guys here at the party. You know what I mean? And you know, you're expecting other females to be there, but other females are not there. So you automatically feel this pressure of, damn, should I leave because I'm outnumbered and it's already a bunch of females? But if I do leave, I may lose my opportunity of getting to meet a nice guy that could potentially be a boyfriend, or what the case is. So you may make the choice to stay. But this is the problem in some cases. Because you have chose to stay, it's going to be most likely a couple of guys in that group that's going to find a way, just based off your looks, they're going to automatically throw shade or some type of insult at you in the first place. And you may have one or two that may be really cool. You know, like, okay, she's a nice girl. They may not want to be interested in wanting to, you know, relationship wise, you know, and they, in some cases, they may just want to take you to bed, but at least they being cool and calm and collective. But when you get in a certain environment and it's nothing but a bunch of men, and let's say you turn a brother down because one of the brothers in there, he just want to get laid. He ain't attracted to you, but he just want to get laid because he feel like you're an average chick and you're not used to attention. So he's going to try you just so he can, you know, get laid, lay some pipe or whatever, you know, knowing he ain't interested in you. He ain't got no intentions in you. But you say, no, you know, I'm not interested in that. You know, I just came here to chill and have a good time. He may be the one that may most likely humiliate and embarrass you in front of a group of other men. And in some cases, some men, not all men, if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply, but you have some men, they have this wolf mentality, meaning that they feed off the energy that other black men within that same, or other men in general in that same environment, they feed off of that. So if one brother's a hothead and calling you a B and all type of the great, you a bitch, you ain't even all that. Why the hell you even came here? We came here to F and have a good time. You think my boy really invited you over here because he liked you like that? We invited you over here because, you know what I'm saying, you know, we trying to give you a chance, you know, and you one of the most stuck up ass sisters, you know what I mean? You ain't trying to give a brother no play. I mean, we'll just make you feel like an ass because you won't give him no ass. You get what I'm saying? So because you this unattractive in his eyes, that's unattractive female that's turning him down, he's looking at you like, bitch, you got the nerve to be turning any of us down. when we invited you here. You lucky we even invited you here. And you have some brothers like that on their panels who they feel like they can say what they want to say to you and disrespect you any kind of way, because in their mind, hell, at least I invited you here. Even though I could disrespect you and insult you in front of millions of people in the chat room, but guess what? I invited you here. So whatever the hell I say or whatever I want to do to disrespect you, you better be a woman and take it and deal with it. Because they only consider you a woman when you're taking the insults. That's what makes you a woman. But the moment you defend yourself, now you're a little girl. Or the moment you leave the panel, now you're a little girl because you won't sit there and take the beatings. And that's the reason why I use the analogy about the party. You know, you go to this party because dudes invite you, and because, you know, you ain't trying to lay up and get gang bang up in there. Now all these brothers insulting you. And that's how a lot of these panels work. But I'm digressing. I know let me shift gears and go back to where I'm going. My point is this, you know, as Black women, we cannot get upset that certain men do not appreciate or value you as a Black woman. Now, this goes back to the Chris Brown thing. First of all, and I've heard several people say this, and I'm going to say it again, Information Man, he made this comment. First of all, the way Chris Brown has disrespected so many Black women, and I told my mom the same thing the other day before I heard Information Man, big ups to him, that this man is known to be bipolar. You know, he's a narcissist. And for women, Black women, to get upset that he only wants to fuck them because they got nice hair, that says something about our psyche. And as Black women, unfortunately, some of us are the majority of us are so used to being ridiculed and slandered and mistreated that we take offense to things that we shouldn't even get offended by. It's kind of like if I get if a disrespectful guy that I know, you know, who has no respect for women says, you know, I don't like light-skinned women, I'm gonna take it personal, knowing that he already has the character of, you know, being very verbally and physically abusive. And that's the same thing with Chris Brown. And that's the problem with us as Black women. We look for validation from anywhere. Even if it's not good validation, we just want it anyway. I've seen women go, it's not even just the Chris Brown thing. Again, I've seen women go on panels with other Black men who disrespect other Black women. And they can sit there happily. Black women, we are cursed. We're wanting to be approved and accepted even by other men that are disrespectful and have no type of real love for Black women. They only love whatever purpose they have us, whatever purpose they need us for. Rather, if they got us on the panel because they need another loudmouth sister that's going to put another loudmouth sister in check, they have their reasons for us. Meaning, a man can have a purpose for you, but that don't mean he got a love for you. So we we accept all of these invitations to come on panels, to come on channel, thinking that, okay, these are some real brothers that respect what a Black woman may have to say, and they invite me on their panel. They invite me, you know, to be part of their team, so, you know, I can help their channel to grow and help them to enhance their message to other Black women or whatever. But a lot of us are getting used as gimmick, as guinea pigs, and basically as mascots. They just want a Black woman there because they know as long as they have a Black woman on the panel, it draws other Black women there. So other than that, they have no real significant purpose for us. And the moment we disagree, or the moment we don't like something and we express it, we get gangbanged, we get attacked. Because again, some of these panels have that wolf energy. Wolves feed off of other wolves. And if one wolf is growling, 9 times out of 10, the other wolves are going to be growling. The only wolves that won't growl is a lone wolf who's used to being by himself. He used to feeding himself. He doesn't need the energy, and he does not need the vibe of the men to change his vibe. And I honestly, I like guys like that. I like guys that can get on the panel and don't allow the other wolves to change his energy. You know what I mean? You know, he sees a sister getting attacked. It's not so much that he's defending her, like, you know, which would be nice, but he's just not partaking, you know, in the gang banging of other women, the females that are on the channel, on the opposite gender. You get what I'm saying? So the point is this, as Black women, we need to understand everybody do not want us. Okay? That goes for you. That goes for me. Light skin, dark skin, short hair, no hair. It's going to be something about you that a man is not going to find attractive or is not going to find appealing. Or if he is into you, that's only because he's trying to get into you sexually. So as Black women, you have to know the difference. You have to know when a guy really is trying to connect with you, or when a guy just sees you as somebody he can have sex with, because it's not the same thing. And the bad part is so many of us as Black women, we are in such denial. We act like we can't tell the difference as to when a guy's really attracted to us or he's just physically attracted to us. You know what I mean? Because physical attraction wears off, but chemistry is something that's more sustainable. It lasts, is more valid, you know, it's more solid. And what has happened is Black women are feeling so undesirable. They willing to take just a man being physically attracted to them, even if it means that he does not see building anything with her. He doesn't see her as a marriage material. I can't speak for other Black women, but it's not good enough for me if a man only just sees me appealing. You know what I mean? Because if he sees me appealing, he's going to see another sister appealing and so forth. What chance do I stand with him? You know, so, you know, this is how I feel about it. So when it comes to these rappers, it comes to these athletes, it comes to these celebrities. First of all, women, what you have to realize is these celebrities, and I've done the content on this before. Same thing with the actor, what his name was, Michael B. Jordan, the actor. He caught a lot of heat, you know, because you know, sisters kept seeing him going out with white women and Indian women and Brazilian women or whatever. And he caught a lot of heat for that. And I said in that last content, like I'm getting ready to say in this one, as Black women, we have to understand you are not, and you will not always be another Black man's type. Just because he's successful, just because he's a big time rapper, just because he's a big time producer, just because he's an NBA player, just because he's an NFL player, Black women have this sense of entitlement that if they are attracted to another Black man, especially a successful one, that they feel like that Black man should only be attracted to Black women. And what Black women have to understand is it does not matter how attractive you are. It doesn't matter how big your titties are. It doesn't matter how big your assets are. Every brother is not going to be checking for you. You can get passed up for white women. You're going to get passed up for Latino women. It is just something that we have to accept as Black women, because now we are in a world where people are dating many different people of different cultures. Now, back in the 50s or the 60s, people were told to stick with their own kind. Like the Ku Klux Klan, you had the civil rights movement. You know, back then everybody stood with their own kind during Jim Crow, because that was the era we was in. Black men knew there was they were limited to not being able to date white women, marry white women. All limits was off. You know, white women was off limits to Black men during that era, and vice versa. If a white man was attracted to a Black woman and he married her during that era, he would get ridiculed. He would catch a lot of heat, because there has been some interracial couples that are in their 80s and 90s and still live to tell the story about how much they had to go through in order to be together, because they really loved each other. They didn't see color. But now we're in a different era where all of that is gone. People are dating who they want to date. You have men that rather date women outside the states and other countries. That's the beauty of freedom, because we don't have that restriction anymore. And Black women, you have the same right. You have the same right. You don't have to just date Black men. You can date whoever you want to date. You know what I mean? But I just find it kind of hypocritical, though, if a Black woman dates a white man, she's a bed wench. But when a brother dates a white woman, he's a king. You know what I mean? So I don't understand the hypocrisy in that, but that's for a whole nother story. I'm not going to go into that too deep. The basically is what women have to realize is these celebrities and these athletes, they're stars. So their job, part of their job and part of their image is to basically sell themselves to us, meaning that they have to put on this persona that they are attracted to all women of all kinds, because that is how they market themselves. And what's been going on is women, we have made fantasies delusional with the reality. So the problem is what a lot of black women understand, just because you see a rapper performing on stage and he's rapping about I love black women and black women is this, and I wanna like 𝐜𝐴𝐚'𝐬 was like, I want a sister with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair, a Fendi bag and a bad attitude. That's all I need to get me in a good mood. You may have these brothers up here that rap about how they love black women, and he's one of the few. 𝐜𝐴𝐚'𝐬 not only rapped about black women and made us feel important and beautiful, he actually married a black woman and been with the same black woman for years. Okay, so you got some brothers who live what they rap. You got some brothers who don't try to sell sisters. Now, on the other hand, you got some of these rappers and athletes and stuff who talk about how they rap about how they like black women and they have a love for black women, but you turn around and you see them married to somebody white or Latino or Puerto Rican, because again, they are stars. So they're supposed to market themselves, which means they're supposed to make women believe they are attracted to women of all races and all flavors. Because if you single your fans out and you make it known that you're only attracted to white women, you're going to catch a lot of heat. Chris Brown is finding that out now. And a lot of these black men, they're finding that out now, that the men that are in the industry, that's what I've been meaning to say. A lot of these brothers in the industry are finding out if they be real and let these black women know who they're really attracted to, they're going to catch a lot of heat. It was a lot of black women that was getting ready to boycott Michael B. Jordan. A lot of sisters was getting ready to boycott Amari Hardwick. I think that's his name. He's Ghost from Power. Once they found out that his wife was white, and because he wouldn't take a picture with another sister, and she spreaded his name around and tried to poison and taint his credibility, by saying, oh, he's not attracted to black women, all because he was with his wife and he did not want to leave his wife to take a picture with her. A lot of these men in the industry, they catch a lot of heat from sisters because, again, we have become infatuated with the fantasy that they have portrayed to us, that I love all black women, black, dark skin, light skin, long hair, short hair. We see them in movies making out with other black women. Okay, we see them rapping about other black women. Do y'all not realize that that basically all of these guys are a brand? Chris Brown is a brand. Okay, he's a psychotic dude, but beside that, he is a brand. And where he messed up at, a lot of guys been smart about it. Like you got some celebrities, they never have talked about what kind of women they like, because they are smart enough to know that if they describe or if they put out there what kind of women are their type, that they're going to lose the credibility. They're going to lose the fan base of the women who fantasize about them. That's why some of these stars and these rappers will go for years and never acknowledge their wife, never acknowledge what kind of women they like, because they know the moment they do that, it's going to piss a lot of their fans off. You know what I mean? But see, the old school men in the industry was smart at doing that. You know what I mean? They knew, like R. Kelly. R. Kelly went for years. Nobody knew Andrea was his wife, because he knew the moment he was walking this woman around the red carpet, holding her hand, and he has all his songs about sex me and you remind me of my Jeep, he would have lost a lot of female fans behind that. And he was smart enough as a man in the industry to know that I can't go around parading my wife. Not when I got millions of women out here fantasizing about me and buy my music. I bring this broad with me in the red carpet. I walk her, with me, all over the place. Some paparazzi catch pictures of me, no disrespect to his wife. She is not the ideal type that most black women would think R. Kelly would be with. And he was smart enough to know that. He didn't parade her all over the place because it's unfortunate. He knew his wife would have tainted his sex symbolism. So he didn't parade Andrea Kelly. We knew they was married till all of the scandals and stuff came out. He never showed her around. A lot of men have been discreet with their love life. 𝐜𝐴T𝐚'𝐬 has been a sex symbol for years. Never even knew he was married at one point in time. And he was married to Lisa Wu for like 10 years. Never even knew that because I've always been a very, very big fan of 𝐜𝐴T𝐚'𝐬, and I am to this day. I never even knew he was married because he was smart up in the industry. They tell you that. I remember I was watching the movie Jackson's The American Dream, and I think it was Jermaine, one of them, who was getting married to Hazel, Berry Gordy's wife. And his father was like, do you realize when you marry this female, how it's going to taint the whole group? You got millions of women out here who love you and want to be with you. And you going to marry and be with this woman? Do you understand how it's going to affect everything? Because you are tarnishing the fantasy that these women have about you. And he's still married anyway. And that's what's going on with a lot of black women. Our confidence is so low. We need the validation of celebrities that will probably never see us. You may never get the moment to even touch Chris Brown. Never get the moment to even be in his presence. I don't even know why you would want to, but this just speaks volumes as to black women, how low we have stooped, and how watered down our value of how we perceive ourselves as far as our worth, to where we need to be validated by a man who obviously can't keep no woman. He's been with beautiful women. He ain't been with no dark-skinned women, but he can't even keep the light-skinned one. He can't keep them. Karrueche was a beautiful woman. Rihanna, beautiful light-skinned women. It don't matter. The man is psychotic. He's going to give you problems, whether you dark skin, whether you light skin. And as a black woman, if you are really valuable and you're really worthy, and another man is willing to pass up on that, well, guess what? He's blocking his blessing. Because if you know you a good ass woman, you don't have to go around here screaming and preaching and getting mad and going on Twitter rants and Facebook rants every time a celebrity, a star, or another black man comes out about, I want a light-skinned woman, I want a woman with long hair and this and that. Because believe it or not, it's some men out there who love the women that they are with, who don't fit none of these Instagram model image, ain't nowhere on that level. I'll never forget, I was in a hair store, and I was there to give me some eyeliner and a couple little things like that. And I'll never forget, I seen this older couple, and I found it very, very touching. I could tell his wife was a chemo patient. I think that's what they call them when all their hair is cut off or something. But she had absolutely no hair. And I definitely admire her confidence for coming out in the public like that, because people are so cruel. If you wear your own hair and you don't have any, people make a mockery out of you and call you bald head. But if you wear a wig, then you got a wig, a hair hat. As black women, that's just we're gonna always be to the bottom of the totem pole. And that's why it's very important as a black woman, you find your own man that's going to love you for you, so you don't have to seek all this validation from somebody as simple as a Chris goddamn Brown. But anyway, so they came in the hair store, and you could tell it was like every bit in their 60s. And she was kind of a heavy set chick. And her husband, really nice looking older guy. And I noticed how patient he was with her as she was trying on all of her wigs. He didn't seem embarrassed that his wife was trying on wigs. He didn't seem like, oh, I really didn't want to be here. And I noticed how he stood there and he allowed her to take as much time as she needed. to pick out a wig. Because at the end of the day, a woman want to feel like a woman. No woman, even when you're in that situation and you have cancer or whatever, or you suffer a significant amount of hair loss, a woman's hair is her crown and glory. And some women cannot help their situation. And sometimes it's just something that women have to deal with, because certain things we go through health wise, and it takes a toll on your body. It causes hair loss, but at the end of the day, you want to be a woman. You still want hair. You still want to feel beautiful. And as she was trying on every wig, he was like, actually giving feedback to her, like, yeah, I think that one's really pretty on you. Well, did you try it in this color? I mean, the man was really just, you could just tell the love he had for her, and her faults and flaws didn't even matter. And I was like amazed at how much he loved his black wife. He was with her every step of the way. He was helping her pick out the wigs. He was helping her try on the wigs. And then when we went to the cashier, he paid for the wigs because she was just going to get one wig. He was like, well, I like the other one too. Do you want to get that one? I mean, he paid for both of them. I'm like, wow, he loved his wife enough to know that my wife, she doesn't have hair, so I'm going to support her and help her buy her hair. And you could just tell that. And it's like, wow, it's not too many. It's unfortunate that some black women, they're never going to experience real love, and it's in many cases because they brought it on themselves by being a thought pocket and making themselves discardable by, having all these kids from all these different men. There's going to be certain things that are going to hold sisters back. So some black women would never get to experience what it's like to have another black man love you genuinely. And I can say I'm fortunate that I have a husband that is willing to accept my flaws and my faults and not penalize me for it. And that's why I don't seek validation from men like Chris Brown, these rappers and these athletes. And I think that's what's going on with the majority of these black women that are getting offended, because they don't have anyone. They don't have a man that's already showing them love. They don't have a man that's letting them know they're valuable. So they look for it from anywhere, as simple as a goddamn Chris Brown. And I bet the majority of these sisters who got offended are sisters who don't have a man. Because what has been happening is, and if it doesn't apply, you don't have to reply. Maybe a few of them had somebody, but still felt some type of way. But basically, when you are confident within yourself, even if you don't have a man, if you are confident in yourself as a single woman, you're not going to get offended by these athletes, by these stars, these celebrities that may, display their dislike for a certain type of woman. You're not going to feel some type of way because you have enough of your own confidence, so you don't need no reassurance from Chris Brown or any man from that matter. And for all of you women who got men and who are married, I pray to the Lord above that you were not one of these women who got offensive by Chris Brown, because if so, you need somebody to put their foot literally all in your ass, because you got no business. I understand how any married woman would get mad at a man who says, I'm not attracted to you. I don't find you appealing. You too dark. You too heavy set. You got too much stomach. If you have a man who loves your stomach, he don't mind grabbing on your rolls every night, and he loves you regardless of what. He don't mind buying your 2XL shirts, because he know his baby got a bunch of rolls in her front. You know what I mean? You shouldn't even be getting mad about stuff like this. If so, your husband or your man should be embarrassed that you are literally getting upset that a man that's a celebrity who you will probably never see in life. You probably never been in not near one of his concerts. A lot of these women appear upset with Chris Brown. Half of them ain't been in none of Chris Brown concerts. Half of them ain't bought Dual album. Y'all have seen this man in the media time and time again disgracing women. Honestly, I used to like Chris Brown, not in a sense on how these sisters doing it, to where I was so in love and would get mad the moment he has something negative to say. But the moment I found out about that whole situation with Rihanna, I've been had turned off. I flatlined on him since. I don't really listen. I listen to some of his old songs, but I'm not really giddy about Chris Brown like that. And then again, I'm older too, so I'm more in the old school. So I'm not really into too many of these young men anyway in the singing industry or whatever. That's more so for my daughter's generation or whatever. But yeah, as Black women, we have to realize we're not every Black man's type. You have to keep in mind that just because you see him as another Black man, you cannot build this sense of entitlement as to where he should automatically find you appealing because you're a Black woman. Because the truth of the matter is, if you take away the stardom from these dudes, if you take away the social status from these dudes, and you were to sit down with a Chris Brown or sit down with a Michael B. Jordan and have a real conversation with them, you will probably most likely find out you and these dudes have absolutely nothing in common. I mean, put the stardom on the shelf, put his celebrity status on the shelf. I mean, separate that. And if y'all were to sit down at a coffee table, at a cafe, and have a regular conversation, you will most likely probably find out that the dude is a square. Even though he got all this money and he may have all this status and celebrityism or whatever, you will see that besides all of that, underneath, he's pretty much a square. He's a simp. Don't even know how to hold a real conversation. Don't even has nothing intellectual or interesting to talk about. In other words, you're not going to be connected to every Black man just because he's a Black man. It does not mean chemistry is going to be there. Does not mean that he's even going to be your type. Think about it. As a Black woman, guys you have dated, reflect back on the guys you have dated that are not celebrities, that are not athletes. There was no chemistry there. There was no connection there because you still would have been with them. So if you hypothetically think about it, if you were to meet a Chris Brown or any of these guys in person, you may discover that you have absolutely nothing in common with these type of guys. He could be a cornball. He could be a lame. If you got to know the real, if you got underneath, if you was able to peel the onion and got down to the core of it and had the opportunity to meet him for him and meet him personally, you know, not meet the Chris Brown that's on stage performing the songs, but just sitting down having a real conversation, you may find out that the dude is pretty loony. He's a damn Looney Tune. And a lot of people don't think that some of these celebrities are that some of them ain't well put together. You know, a lot of them got mental malfunctions. Chris Brown is not is just one to name a few. The actor Terrence Howard from Empire. You know, he has been known to date women of all races. I have not seen him date a Black woman yet, but what I do know is even women of other races cannot deal with him. He's on his third, I think she's Latina. I don't know if the first wife was a Brazil. I don't know half of these women ethnicity. I'm just assuming and guessing. But I've not known him to be, I think he has kids from a Black woman or whatever. I don't know. But every woman of every other race that he's dated, they can't deal with him. What a lot of y'all sisters are not what a lot of y'all are not realizing is even when brothers choose not to select us or choose not to be interested in us, the women they deal with can't even deal with them. After a while, Scottie Pippen, your boy Scottie Pippen is finding that out now. His wife Larissa, that he been married to every bit 20, 30 years, who he caught with the rapper Future, she did an interview recently stating how boring Scottie Pippen was, even with all his millions. And she done sat up here and had about 4 or 5 kids from this man. And she ain't even interested in them. She said dude was boring. So if the brothers want to cross the other side, let them cross the other side, because they'll find out it's not that grand and gravy over there either. If Chris Brown wants to do all the light skin with pretty hair, let him do that, because they don't stick with him long anyway. He has not, every woman Chris Brown has ever had, he has not been able to keep them. He can get them, he can't keep them. And a lot of these dudes in the industry, they cannot keep one woman to save their life. They can't, because what it is, as fans, we know them as the Lil Waynes, we know them as the Chris Browns. We see these rappers, we see these athletes, these Carmelo Anthony's, we see these men as men with high status and a lot of money. But if you take away the brand and you get to learn and know these dudes for who they are personally, you will find out that y'all had absolutely nothing in common. And it is just very disgraceful that you have all of these black women that are upset with Chris Brown simply because he wants to fuck bitches with good hair. So you just see yourself as fuckable. You don't see yourself as wifeable. You shouldn't even want attention from certain type of dudes. But I'm not surprised, because that's the type of culture we're in. So many black women, so many of us are feeling defeated. And so many of us have been mistreated and overlooked and talked piss poorly about. So we seek validation from anywhere. We don't care who it come from. Long as we get attention, we don't care if it's bad attention. And it's very, very sad that a lot of us have stooped to this level of self-esteem to where if a man that's disrespectful to black women don't approve of us, we automatically have a problem with it. And it's not just in the celebrity world. I noticed that in the YouTube panel. I noticed some sisters will try to get in good with these guys that are doing really successful with their panels that got over 30,000 subscribers. There's a lot of men on YouTube that are very popular within the black YouTube sector. They got really large panels. They have a large fan base. They have a lot of accolades and everything going for them. So as black women, we are honored to be in the presence of them when they invite us on their panels, when they invite us to their channels. And we're thinking that the moment they send us an invite, we accept it because we're feeling like, okay, we're being approved of. Well, I mean, if this man is sending me an invite and he wants me to come to his panel, well, he must be seeing me as a real woman, or he must be seeing me as different from other women. So only go on there and see that you're getting treated and disrespected just like he does every other black woman that comes on his panel. So again, a lot of times women, we set ourselves up to be disrespected because we look from approval, even from men who have displayed disrespect for black women. You've seen them talk down on black women. You've seen if a black woman disagree with what he says, how he ridicules her, how he scalds her. You see how all the brothers on the other panel, they give each other that damn wolf energy. One brother goes in, 2, 3, 4 of them going in. You know what I'm saying? And basically, you're feeling gangbang because all the brothers on the panel are taking turns banging you out, verbally, and embarrassing you and disgracing you. And now your pride has been bruised because you're accepting these invites to panels thinking these guys got your best interest. And in some cases, some of them really do. Some guys I will rock with. I will go to an Information Man channel. I will go to Mr. Research. A couple of guys I know, if they invite me on their panel, they mean well. They're not bringing me on their panel as a mascot or somebody to make a mockery out of. But as black women, basically, I'm gonna wrap it up like this. Y'all need to pray for the spirit of discernment. A lot of y'all are lacking that. A lot of y'all don't have it. As soon as a brother invites you somewhere, you quit to take the invite because you think that this man has good intentions, and the bottom line is all of them do not. They got their own hidden motives, their own hidden agendas as to why they put you on with certain things. So again, as black women, it's very important that you have discernment. Also, the way you carry yourself, it has a lot to do with how you target certain men, how you attract certain men. You carry yourself like a thought. You carry yourself like somebody who want to be fucked because you got good hair. Then guess what? You'll attract Chris Browns. You know what I mean? So if you only see yourself on that level as being fuckable, then that's what'll happen. You'll just receive that and nothing else. So black women, Please use more wisdom when it comes to wanting to be accepted. Everybody is not worth your approval, especially when they've already displayed disrespect for other women or whatever. So, I'm just over it. Black women, y'all need to realize just because you're a black woman, every black man is not going to want you. Every black man is not going to be attracted to you. Every black man is not going to consider you his type. He is entitled to have his preference. Hell, you got your preference as a black woman. You don't want to date no homeless dude that lives in the Salvation Army. I mean, so how would you feel if dude from the Salvation Army says, oh, you as a black woman, you got a problem with me because I live in a homeless shelter? Because I don't have a home, I don't have a car. How dare you degrade me as a man because I don't have a house and I don't have a car? Men take it like champs. When the man is told he's not a woman's type, he don't give a rat's ass. I don't never see men up here venting because a black woman. Well, no, let me take that back. Because I've heard some black men get offended when a black woman, if she's with a white guy, and they know she's with a white guy, they don't want no parts of her. They consider her a swirler, especially if she has an opinion about black men. So I can't really say that. Because I've been seeing some brothers lately going in on women. Because what I started to say was, I don't see other black men around here complaining because they're not somebody's type. But I can't, might as well just disregard that statement, because lately I've been seeing some brothers, they're getting petty too. But basically, everybody got their preferences. You know what I mean? So we can't knock somebody else's preferences. If somebody wants to swirl, or if he wants Becky with the good hair, guess what? Get your own man, get your own companion, get your own woman. That way you already have somebody who loves you for you. So anyway, y'all, I'm going to get ready to shut it down. Ladies, don't forget, I got my baby mama drama webinar coming up. It's $25 per lady. I got my first class not coming up this week, but next week. Just be on the lookout for the commercial. I will be posting it momentarily. That way, everybody will know the exact dates as to the time frame they would need to meet, the deadline they would need to meet in order to register for the baby mama drama webinar. So on that note, y'all, it is your girl, Lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all be blessed and have a wonderful day. Take care.